No Australian animal is shrouded in more mystery and misinformation than the dingo. Dingoes are vilified and persecuted around all of Australia on a scale that is beyond comprehension, and a lot of this is because of a lack of understanding and long-held misconceptions about them. In this video, we'll look at some of the most common myths surrounding dingoes and uncovering the truth behind these vital animals.
What a frightening experience. A 24-year-old woman off on a morning run when suddenly she's attacked by a pack of dingoes.
The animal needs to die. You've got to cull these things.
Right, but it's the
These
wildlife.
dogs are making it dangerous.
Right, but the wildlife is part of that.
Number 1. Dingoes are just stray dogs. Many people think that dingoes are simply feral dogs that have gone wild, but this could not be further from the truth. In fact, dingoes are a distinct species of wild canid, genetically different from domestic dogs. They have been in Australia for thousands of years and evolved to fit into their environment, adapting unique behaviours and physical traits that allow them to thrive in this harsh landscape. The truth is, dogs simply don't have the skills and adaptations to survive in such harsh conditions, and the few dogs that do get out and go free into the bush do not survive long at all. Myth number 2. Dingoes are indiscriminate hunters and pose a significant threat to all wildlife. Now I know this doesn't sound like it makes sense. If we're in the midst of the largest mammal extinction on Earth, how can an animal that eats other mammals be a good thing? Well, dingoes play an important role in the ecosystem by controlling populations of herbivores and smaller predators, maintaining balance. They help reduce overgrazing that can occur when herbivore numbers are not regulated. By controlling the numbers of animals such as kangaroos and rabbits, dingoes prevent overgrazing and the degradation of vegetation, allowing a diverse range of plant species to thrive. This, in turn, supports a variety of other wildlife that depend on these plants for food and habitat. Myth number 3. Dingoes are all aggressive. Dingoes are generally very shy and cautious around humans. People have this idea of dingoes being aggressive due to how they're portrayed in the media and campfire stories. In reality, dingoes are actually extremely shy animals and avoid people as best they can. After being hunted for hundreds of years, I can see why. In all of the hours I've spent tracking wild dingoes, I've never experienced any sort of aggression in any way whatsoever. Myth number 4. Culling dingoes is an effective solution to protect livestock. Culling is proven to be ineffective in the long term and cause significant harm to ecosystems by disrupting the natural balance. Lethal management of dingoes has been used since colonisation, yet we've seen time and time again that it is ineffective, expensive, and has disastrous trickle-down effects on the environment. Number 5. Dingoes were responsible for the thylacine extinction. This myth is a surprisingly popular one, but like all good campfire stories, it's a load of shit. While dingoes would inevitably have killed thylacines and had an impact on their population, humans are the cause of their extinction. When the first fleet colonised Australia in 1788 and brought sheep with them, the thylacine now added a new item to their menu. This led to a huge shooting, trapping, bounty and poisoning campaign that led to the extinction of the thylacine. Which sounds kind of familiar, but I can't really figure out why. Number 6. All of the dingoes on Gari are starving. This is why they are attacking people. Every time a dingo attacks someone on Gari, formerly Fraser Island, all of the armchair biologists come out of the woodwork to say they are starving to death or look how skinny they are, we have to feed them. After scrolling through a sea of these comments left by people whose profile picture is a Holden Commodore, I think I've finally hit my limit, so let me be clear. The dingoes on Gari are not starving. Dingoes are naturally extremely lean animals and have very little body fat. Their ribs and hips are supposed to be visible. We are so desensitized to having overweight canines around us that when people see a healthy dingo, they assume that they're starving. The reality is, dingoes on Gari have an abundance of food. This includes possums, lizards, birds, turtles, fish, rats, macropods, and anything that washes up on the beach. The reason that people get bitten on Gari is because they have lost their fear of humans, because people keep feeding them. It is as simple as that. So next time you're visiting Gari, please don't feed the dingoes. Number 7. Dingoes can't bark. I don't really know where this myth stems from, but it is just that, a myth. Dingoes are capable of a range of sounds that includes barking, howling, and huffing. They howl to announce their location and find out where other dingoes are in the landscape, mostly at night to keep the pack together and to warn others to stay away. Packs often howl in a chorus, which may be intimidating to other packs when they hear how many dingoes are in a nearby pack. And number 8, pure dingoes are all ginger. This is another myth that your uncle from central Queensland, who you only see at Christmas and funerals, will tell you. Dingoes' coats vary drastically. While the majority of dingoes are ginger with white on their feet and the tips of their tails, it is not the case for every dingo. There are white dingoes, black dingoes, brindle dingoes, and everything in between. A dingo's coat colour is in no way a representation of their genetic purity. A study published in the Journal of Zoology found that 53% of dingoes have a ginger coat, 9% were sable, 11% were black and tan, 14% brindle, 5% black and 1% white, and 6% were a little patchy. These are just a few of the many myths that surround dingoes and prevent us from appreciating them for the vital animal that we are so lucky to have in this country. But I put the question to you. What myths have you heard about dingoes? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching.